Amistad and Harper Audio present Chloe, a novel of secrets and lies, by Connie Briscoe, performed by Shantae McCormick. This one is for my family and friends, Karen Singleton, Diane Singleton, Nate Whitaker, Shirley Whitaker, Patty DeJarnett, and many more, who make Martha's Vineyard such a joyful, fun, and relaxing place to visit. Sometime in the future. There it was again, the nightmare, creeping up, invading. She was running, faster, faster, stumbling across the dusty, damp grounds of Riverwild, over a soggy lawn, through the weed-strangled garden to the top of a slick hillside. She stopped, breathless, her chest heaving, gazed up at the night sky, and tried to quiet her wildly thumping heart. Then she peered down below. The waters of the mighty Potomac River spread out before her, raging to and fro. She glanced back at the mansion, looming tall and menacingly, its dark and deadly secrets now completely exposed. Standing there on the hill all alone, she felt a wailing cry bubble up in her throat. She was more confused than ever. She had anticipated a life filled with love, joy, tenderness, not secrets and lies, not bullets and blood. That wife of yours is dangerous. Caught her snooping. How much does she know? Nothing. Not a single thing. That was then. Now she knew everything. And she had never been more frightened. Part 1. 1. The day had started out decent enough, with bright clouds floating above. Then thunder clapped. The sky went dark. Not the kind of weather you hoped for when boarding the ferry to Martha's Vineyard, Angel thought, her flip-flops squeaking across the damp passenger ramp at the Steamship Authority terminal. Wheeling her luggage along, she dashed inside and made her way to a seat, just as heavy rain fell. This was her third year visiting Martha's Vineyard while working as a private chef, but the first time she'd traveled in such miserable conditions. Unless one counted the last of many summers she'd visited with her parents as an enthusiastic young girl who loved to sketch and dreamed of someday becoming an artist. That had been 20 years ago, when the family ended up stuck on the island for 3 frightful days as an unusually early hurricane pummeled the land, and all transportation to and from it was halted. Now she traveled by plane and bus, but back then she and her parents always made the nearly 500-mile trek by car from Washington, D.C. to Woods Hole, Massachusetts, then hopped on the ferry. That had been the summer ritual for their little family of 3, right up until the year of the hurricane. The same year, her dad lost his restaurant business, and the family lost their precious Victorian-style house in Northwest D.C., along with their Volvo station wagon. And her mother eventually walked out and left their tidy little family. She had been barely 12 years old the summer her world toppled upside down. Neither of her parents would talk to her in much detail about what had happened between them, or why. Angel had often imagined that if her mother had run off and left her only child, it must have been to go someplace very special, maybe some magical destination in a faraway land. Angel would eventually pick up bits of the ugly truth here and there from soft whisperings among cousins and aunts at family gatherings. Would see the quiet look of desperation on her father's face whenever she stole a glance as he whipped up a meal for the 2 of them in their tiny, sparsely furnished 2-bedroom apartment. Still, she clung furiously to the belief that nothing could have enticed her mom away from them, short of a place resembling paradise. That childhood fantasy was shattered when her mom remarried about a year after taking off and sent for her daughter. That was when the annual summer visits to Richmond, Virginia began, and her dreams of becoming an artist came to an abrupt halt.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?